Everyone, welcome back to another episode. Young wore a simple white shirt and beige pants, soft brown hair brushing over his brows. A nervous flutter danced in his stomach. The restaurant was quite tucked away in a small alley near the campus. Minna was already there, waiting politely. He stood when they walked in. Right, he smiled warmly. I'm Minho. Taehyung nodded, brows slightly. Nice to meet you. They ordered food, talk a little. Minho wasn't overly charming or flirty. He was calm, respectful, genuine, kind. Taehyung eventually told him the truth. I'm already in love with someone else, he said. He said quietly, hands in his lap. I'm just doing this to get rid of the feelings. Minna gave a gentle nod. Thank you for being honest. You are not mad. No, Minna smiled. I have loved someone who don't love me back. It takes time, then we wouldn't rush anything. No promises. Minna said softly, no pressure, just peace. They did hold hands. Don't hug, don't kiss, just they smile at each other. And for the first time in months, Taehyung didn't cry that night. Back at the dorm, Taehyung sat on the bed, his phone in his hand. He hadn't messaged Jungkook in a long time. No replies, no calls, nothing. But tonight he stared at the phone from dinner. Him and Minho smiling gently side by side, his thumb over the message bar. Then slowly he typed, went on a first date today. He is good man, just thought you should know. He attached the photo and hit send. Across the city, late night, Jungkook just finished a late meeting and was sitting on the couch. Scrolling through messages, Namjoon had left after reminding him to eat properly. As always, Jungkook barely listened. He didn't smile anymore, didn't go out, didn't talk unless necessary. He just walked, breathed, existed, and then his phone buzzed. A message from Taehyung. His heart dropped. He stared at it for a full minute before opening it, and when he did, his fingers tightened around the phone. Taehyung is smiling with another boy, that gentle curve of his lips, the small twinkle in his eyes. Someone else sitting beside him went on a first date today. Jungkook chest edge so suddenly it stole his breath. He dropped his phone on the couch and ran a hand through his hair, passing the room. Why did it feel like someone was being ripped from his chest? He was the one who sent Taehyung away. He was the one who said they couldn't be together. He was the one who ignored every message, even calls. He told himself it was for the best, that they couldn't cross the line. But now, seeing someone else beside them, it burned. Meanwhile, Taehyung waited for a reply, any reply, but none came. His phone stayed silent, his screen cold, and Taehyung's lips, little hope, wilted again. He placed his phone down. He sat on the edge of the bed, the picture still glowing on his phone. His thumb hovered over reply box. But what would he say? That he was jealous, that he missed him, that he wanted to hold him again? No, he had no right. Still, he couldn't stop staring at the phone. Jungkook hadn't meant to open Taehyung's message again, but he did over and over. He stared at the picture. Taehyung sent Taekook. Taehyung is smiling with another guy. Boy, Minho. Even his name made Jungkook grit his teeth. He zoomed in, noticing the way Taehyung's shoulders slightly leaned towards Minho. How Minho looked calm and protective beside him. Generally romantic, no hand holding, no touching, but Jungkook hated it. He hated that someone else was making Taehyung smile. He hated that he had no right to upset. Namjoon knocked on Jungkook's office door. You have been in here all night again? Namjoon asked. I'm crushed. What's going on with you? I'm fine, Jungkook muttered. Without looking up, you don't look fine. You look like you haven't slept in days. I said I'm fine, Jungkook repeated. Namjoon walked closer, frowning. You are shutting everyone out. You are barely eating, not resting, and you haven't even asked me about Taehyung and Biggs. Jungkook's jaw tense. Namjoon narrowed his eyes. You told me to take care of everything for him in his school room. Everything. Jungkook grip on the pen in his hand tightened. Namjoon stepped closer, quieter. Now you haven't moved on from have you? Jungkook heart tugged. Namjoon's was softened even more. You still love him, but Jungkook shook his head, forcing a smile. Happy. He's happy now, that's all mattered. Namjoon sighed. Lying to yourself. Meanwhile, Taehyung walked through the big university gate, a backpack swing over his shoulder, headphones around his neck. College, a new chapter. He was still getting used to not seeing Jungkook's face every morning, not hearing his voice before bed. Sometimes when he passed a black car like Jungkook's, his heart would. Sometimes when he saw someone in suit with a sharp jawline, he would turn around, just hoping it might be him. But it never was. Taehyung's phone buzzed. Minho, how is your first day? What? Want to grab lunch later? Taehyung smiled softly. Minho was always sweet and understanding. Sure, after my afternoon class deal, he didn't feel butterflies, not the way he used to around Jungkook, but he felt calm, comfortable, and maybe that was enough for now. Back at Jungkook's penthouse, he sat by the window, eyes fixed on the phone screen. He had visited Taehyung's Instagram page again. He didn't follow it, but he checked it every single day. And today there was Taehyung laughed in the university garden, a tray of food in his hand, Minho beside him, feeding him a grape. Jungkook felt like someone punched him in the gut. He turned off his phone, tossing it on the couch, and leaned back with a shaky breath. Why does it hurt more now? Later that evening, Namjoon came to drop off some files. He found Jungkook sitting alone in the dark, a glass of whiskey in his hand. Namjoon sighed. You saw the photo, didn't you? Jungkook nodded. Didn't reply. He is moving on, Jungkook. I thought I was protecting him, Jungkook said wisely. I thought pushing him away was the right thing, but now he doesn't need me anymore, and I can't blame him. Namjoon sat across from him. It's not too late. Jungkook looked up slowly. What? Taehyung hasn't promised himself to anyone. He is still healing. He still looks at his photo, hoping for a reply. Jungkook's chest tightened. Namjoon added, he still misses you, Jungkook. Maybe not like before, but the edge is still there. I have seen it. Jungkook looked away, but he deserves someone who wouldn't push him away when things get hard. Jungkook, Namjoon said gently, someone who will choose him, Jungkook. Near the college campus, Taehyung sat under a tree reading a novel. Minho sat beside him. Your eyes look spoopy. Didn't you sleep well? Minho asked. Taehyung nodded lightly. Just dream random stuff. Minho hesitated about him. Taehyung looked down. Yeah. Minho gave a small smile. You know, I can back off if you ever need space. Taehyung said, no, it's not you. You have been really good to me, but you still love him. Taehyung looked at the sky. I think I always will. Back at the office, Jungkook opened Taehyung's message for a week ago. Back at his office, Jungkook opened Taehyung's message a week ago again. That smile. Next day, college campus, he deleted it and stared at the empty message box, wondering would Taehyung even care anymore if he replied. Would he feel hurt or angry or revealed? Jungkook didn't know. He just knew one thing: he missed Taehyung more than words could explain. 3 years later, Seoul, spring afternoon, the wind carried soft petals through the air as students burst through the university gates. Graduation season. Taehyung stood quietly in the corner, dressed in a black robe, cap in his hand. He was smiling a calm, rehearsed smile. He had learned to smile without meaning it. His hands surrounded him. Jin, Youngin, Hoseok, Jimin and Minho. Minho was now just someone who understood him better than most. You did it, Jimin cheered, hugging Taehyung tightly. We are proud of you, Jin said, patting his back, ready to throw that cap in the air and cry. They all clearly overdrank that evening, but Taehyung had something else in his mind. His mother, she was finally coming back to Korea, released after years of detention in Georgia, and for the first time in 3 whole years, Taehyung would be sleeping back into Jungkook's house. Stepping back into Jungkook's house, the only place that still haunted in his dreams. The next day, Jungkook's penthouse. Jungkook stood by the glass window, watching the city below. His hands were in his pocket, shoulders rigid. Sell. She will be landing in an hour, Namjoon informed from behind. Jungkook nodded, and Taehyung is coming. Namjoon nodded gently. Jungkook didn't reply, but his fingers twitched. Don't need to be ready, Jungkook said, turning around. This is for his mother, but deep down, he wasn't ready. He had seen glimpses of Taehyung's life from afar. Graduation photo, music performance photo, and with friends, Taehyung had become a man, beautiful, confident, composed, and Jungkook has become lonely, cold, empty. A black car pulled up outside. Taehyung stepped out while wearing a simple jean shirt with into black slacks, his hair slightly long, now parted naturally. He looked mature, grown, but his eyes still carried the softness. Jungkook remembered. Namjoon opened the door. Come in. Taehyung nodded, bowing slightly. Hyung. Standing near the piano, staring at him like he was seeing a ghost. Taehyung's expression didn't change. He bowed politely. Jungkook, see. The formal tone cut through Jungkook like a blade. You have grown, Jungkook said, barely able to form the words. Taehyung simply smiled. 3 years do that. Namjoon cleared his throat. Sia will be here soon. You both can wait in the lounge. I will Wait alone, Taehyung said quickly, walking past Jungkook. Jungkook watching him walk away. The accent of his long lingering familiar, painful distance in the lounge. Minutes later, Taehyung said quietly, he didn't want to show it. He had came too far to show it. He had spent 2 whole years learning how to hide the way he felt, and he wouldn't let it slip now. He wasn't just vulnerable, 17 years old anymore. Jungkook stood outside the lounge pressing. He had so many things to say, how he missed Taehyung, how he never stopped loving him, how he watched it from afar, how he hated himself for sending him away, but instead he stayed silent because now Taehyung looked okay. He looked happy, independent, whole, and Jungkook was scared that saying anything now might break the little strength Taehyung had rebuilt. Later that evening, she arrives. When the black car arrived, Taehyung stood up immediately. The door opened and woman stepped out, but but her face, older eyes tired, but her expression lit up the moment she saw him. Taehyung, Ma, Taehyung whispered. He rushed to her, tears falling his eyes before he could stop them. She hugged him tightly, like she was afraid he would disappear again. My baby, you have grown so much. I missed you. Taehyung sobbed into her shoulder. Behind them, Jungkook watched silently, eyes softening. This was what Taehyung deserved: family, love, healing. That night, drive dinner table. Before going to his own room, he passed by Jungkook's study. The door was open, and just a second, his stopped eyes met. No one spoke, but something hung in the air between them. Memories, regret, emotions, unspoken, raw, heavy. Later that night, Jungkook is POV. He stood outside Taehyung's room and lifted to knock, but he didn't. He just stood there, forehead pressed against the door. I'm sorry, he whispered, still love you. But the door stayed closed and the words stayed unheard. Inside, Taehyung sat on the window, clenching the stupid box Jungkook had given him on his 17th birthday. He didn't cry, not anymore, but he felt the edge. Well, Constant, I wish I could hate you, he whispered, but I can't. We continue. So everyone, the upcoming episodes are going to be less painful and they are going to again feel the same love they had left behind. Hope you will enjoy the next episode. Bye bye, love you. Bye.